Hi guys, I'm Madeline MacDonald. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to set up a sequence of emails that automatically goes out to your customer prospects or your customers. I made a couple of videos on why it's useful to have automated email sequences and what kinds of content you can include in those emails. And if you're wondering how to go about setting all of this up, then this is the video for you. So firstly, you need to pick a software. There's a few different email marketing software out there, such as MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Drip, and they have slightly different pricing and a few different features, but for setting up a basic email sequence, they all pretty much do the same thing. So I'm going to show you how to do it in Drip, which happens to be one of my favorite ones to use, but you can pretty much take the same principles and do exactly the same thing in any of the other providers that you choose. Now, in a second, I'm going to just jump in and show you how to set up a basic email sequence in Drip, and I'm going to share my screen with you. But before that, I just want to give you a couple of other ideas for the different features that these softwares include that can be super useful for you. The email softwares can track whether someone opens an email, whether they click a link in the email. If a prospect hasn't opened an important email, you can set it up so that they will then receive the same email again and bump it to the top of their inbox, making sure that they actually see the important email and take the action they need to take. So that's one useful feature. So the clever thing is that only the people who don't open the email or click the link will be resent the email. Everyone else will go through to a different stage. You might want to exclude certain people from receiving the email, or you might want to only include a certain group of people, and you can do that by making sure that everyone is tagged in the correct way. That's another super useful feature, is that you make sure that anyone who's receiving communications from you is only receiving the stuff that's most relevant to them. So now I'm going to jump into Drip and show you how to build a basic email sequence. I'm in Drip right now and I'm going to show you how to set up an email sequence. So what you need to do is, once you've got your account set up, you need to go to this tab here, Automation, and then Workflows, and create a new workflow. So this is obviously just a test. Now, what we're trying to do obviously is set up an email funnel. So one of the important components is going to be to input our emails. And the way that we do that is like this. So you add, and then you go to action, and one-off email is the one that you need. And here you have some options for customizing the email that you're going to use. So either thank you for requesting my guide, blah, blah, blah. You can add HTML to change the colors and the fonts. You can add images. You can add a call to action button. There's a few different options here, but this is where you actually write your emails. Subject line. When you set up your Drip account, you will have already set up the ability to send the emails from your email account. So then you save the draft, save email, and go back. So here's our first email. Now, let's say we want to send a 5-email sequence. We're going to have to build out. Basically do the same thing again. Let's call it email 2. Now, when someone starts this email sequence, as it is currently, what they're going to do is they're going to get 4 emails one after the other at the same time. This is obviously not what you want. You want to be spacing them out. So how do you add a space between the emails? Well, you have to add this plus button and you add a delay. And so you might want to be sending emails every 2 days. If you want to skip the weekends and only send them on working days, you can do that. And you can set a time to send them. So you might want to send them in the morning so that it's the first thing they see when they get into work, etc., etc. You can choose what you want to do there. So you add your delay, and you do the same for the other ones. So let's just say I'm doing 2 days, and let's say I want to wait a week before sending the final one. Great, so we've got an email that's being sent immediately, then we've got another one being sent 2 days later, another one 2 days after that, and another one 7 days after that. I also mentioned that you can take different actions and send different emails based on actions that the prospect has taken. And one of the ones that I mentioned was resending an email that hasn't been opened. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. If you want to add different paths for different actions, then you need to add what's called a decision. So let's add one here. So here we want to do activity taken, email activity. So did the person open or click on the last email? And in this case, we're just leaving it as 1 because we're talking about the last single email that we sent them. So did they open or click? Yes or no? So if they opened or clicked, we're good to send them our second email 2 days later, or we've already waited 2 days before the decision is made. If they did not open or click, then we want to do something else. So we want to send them the same email again. And in this case, we're going to add this to the no side because they have not opened it. So we're going to add our email on the no side. And we're going to call it resend email 1. You can copy and paste in your email 1. So we've got send the first email, wait 2 days, and then send the second email. And then what happens here is that once they've got the resent email, they rejoin the same flow as everyone else. But here, as you can see, we don't have a time delay between resending the first email and sending the second email, which means that as it currently stands, this person would receive 2 emails in short succession. That's not what we want. Again, we want to make sure that we're spacing them out. So make sure to add another delay right here. Let's say 2 days again. That's how you use the decision feature, and that's how you send different emails depending on what your users have interacted with. One final tip, so you need to have a trigger. So what makes someone be put into this sequence and start receiving these emails? And as I mentioned, you can tag your contacts or your subscribers in these tools and take different actions depending on the tag. So what you might want to do, for example, is if someone makes an inquiry on your website, you might want to start them into this flow. So in order to do that, maybe you ensure that when someone makes an inquiry on your website, they're tagged within the Drip system or whatever other email system you're using. And then you make sure that the tag becomes the trigger for this email workflow. So anyone who receives the tag, as soon as they receive the tag, they're going to start this and receive their first welcome email. So make sure that you have a trigger, otherwise no one's going to go through the email sequence, no one's going to get the emails. So in this case, you do apply the tag, and then you choose one that you've already made, or you can also create a tag here. So that's how you start your workflow, and that's how to make a basic email sequence in Drip. So guys, I hope you found this video on email marketing useful. For more videos on email marketing and on digital marketing in general, subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified whenever there's a new video. And if you need help with any of this, feel free to book a call with me and I'll see how I can help you to build a successful email funnel that increases your revenues and engages your customers and builds your authority. Hope to talk to you soon.